We're so happy to have you here at our global gathering, everyone. Today, our topic is going to be bold vulnerability as a speaker. And for me, it's almost like a lifestyle. And I am super delighted. We're going to introduce a BRI Talks member who's going to share her story. And I have a quote for you. It's Brene Brown. And I got to tell you, in my talking that I do about shame, I get it that Brene is super brilliant, but I don't read her stuff. I'm afraid that if I did, all I would want to do would be to regurgitate and say her stuff. I want to be authentically me. So it's kind of rare that I will give you a quote from Brene, but I felt like this needed to come from her. And it's what is vulnerability? Vulnerability is the courage to show up when you can't control the outcome. And that is exactly what we're going to have happen right now. I am super excited to introduce you to Ms. Teri Riley. Teri Riley is an author, speaker, and style transformation coach on a mission to empower women on a journey of self-discovery, helping them unveil their unique personal style and embrace their true magnificence from the inside out. Teri inspires women to radiate confidence, authenticity, and empowerment, igniting a ripple effect of positive change in their lives and the world. Welcome, Teri.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. So nice to be here. Just want to share a little bit about my story. As Terilee stated, I am a style transformation coach. And it started because growing up, I was bullied and teased because of my dark complexion. I was told I was ugly, and I believed it. I believed it for years, and it became my truth. I lived my life inside of this truth. It was the story that just took over my life, which allowed me to tolerate bad behavior in relationships, not thinking I was good enough or worthy enough. But fashion was my sanctuary. It was my outlet. Because when I spent time even playing with my Barbie dolls, I would just feel so full. It just made me feel confident and beautiful. And when I got dressed and I looked good on the outside, it gave me confidence. It made me feel beautiful on the inside. And so what I do is I empower women to understand their unique beauty, to know that they are created with value, with purpose, and that they too have a purpose in life. And this journey that I've been on, I know that it wasn't for me because I have this message to share. Being a style transformation coach, you meet so many women that just don't feel good enough. They don't feel pretty enough. They just don't feel worthy. They don't know their worth. We are worthy just because we're here. God created us in his own image. We are worthy and we have so much power. But as women, sometimes we withhold that power and we give it away. We give it away to people that don't even deserve our power or us as a woman. And so what I do, I use fashion as a tool to empower women to know that when you look good, you feel good, but know that it starts from within. And this message is a message that every woman needs to hear, to know that they are unique, created with value, with purpose. And I tell women every day, look in the mirror, because as women, sometimes we just don't value ourselves. Look in the mirror, and instead of pointing out things that you don't like, look at something, your eyes, your nose, your smile, and tell yourself you love yourself, because it starts from self-love. We have to love ourselves. Before we can love others, we have to love us. And you don't need to lose 20 pounds to be beautiful. Honor the body that you have today. Honor that body, not 10 pounds, 15 pounds lighter. Embrace yourself, love yourself, and know that you are a masterpiece because you are a piece of the master. You are beautiful. You are created with so much worth and value, fearfully and wonderfully made. And just take that and to know every single day, know that you are worthy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And we, I want to invite you all, if you'd like to give some comments, positive comments to Teri. I know she would love to accept them in the chat. And Elian and I want to continue the conversation with Teri a little bit. Teri, I thank you for sharing your story, and I thank you for showing up in a bold, vulnerable way. You always didn't show up in a bold, vulnerable way. That's a new thing, right?
That's a new thing.
Yes, yes. When I see Teri, I've only seen her on Zooms. I look forward to a time, everyone, when I'm going to see her in person. I don't know when and where that's going to be yet. But when I see Teri, she always like inspires me. Like, I better up my game. Like, she just always looks so together. Like, the last thing I would ever think about would be her complexion, right? Right?
Yeah.
And
It was just amazing. And honestly, you kind of touched me in my heart because I feel kind of, oh, I need to take a deep breath because I recognized that everything that you said about being valuable and being worthy in the eyes of God, of course, our maker. And I mean, how many times is that power being taken away from us? Honestly, I'm more flustered even because I just went through that again. And you know how much power people can have over us to not see that. And I love what you say about which is big with me and our connection, me and you. And we have been together for about a year on Zoom. Put your outside on as well, right? To feel good. Dress up, dress up, dress up. Make it awesome, make it happen. So that if you look in the mirror, you feel great. So thank you for that. It's
Thank
awesome. Really, really awesome. You're awesome.
Thank
You
you.
made me cry. You're awesome.
I do thank you for that. And Teri, I hope you'll be able to, when we're done chatting here, I hope you'll be able to really embrace the comments that I'm seeing come across. Teri and I were talking when I was first telling her about the BRI Talks community. And I was sharing with her, some of you know my story, some of you don't. And I'm not going to spend time on my story today per se. I invite you, if you want to know and you don't know, I'll send you some links so you can see what it is about. But we were talking about the difference between a lot of us can identify with having shame, feeling bad about ourselves, having awkward feelings about how we're made. So Teri, in her life, we talked about, like, I think she probably thought everybody thinks this, everybody sees it, everybody knows. Where in my case, it was how I was made with an underdeveloped reproductive tract, and like no one knew, but yet I carried the shame. And the difference of thinking about, does everybody know, and how does that play out? And so some of you are going to be able to relate to that. Like, I met somebody at a networking event, and I remember thinking, when she stood up, I remember thinking, wow, she's tall. But like, I didn't think, oh, she's tall in a bad way. It was just a notice for me. She was beautiful and tall, but her shame was about how tall she was. She was always way taller than everyone else. And the thing about these feelings is that they're personal for everyone. And so some of you might think, oh, it's no big deal to be tall. It's no big deal if my skin is too light or too dark. It's no big deal, these things, right? But it's personal and it's how you take it. So do you have any comments, Teri, about like the idea of everybody knew, and like, did you think about it a lot or no?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean, it got to the point where I just would cry because I wish my skin was lighter, because that was the first thing that people saw. And like you said, some people maybe didn't even see it as a thing, but I did. And I always thought that I would be better if I would be prettier if I was lighter. Even to the point where trying to find items when I got older to like bleach my skin, because I just wanted to be older. I mean, older. I wanted to be older, but I wanted to be lighter.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, people don't understand that when they give comments, because I would get comments, you're pretty to be dark skinned. I'd get that. But in my mind, that meant I was ugly, because why couldn't I just be pretty? Why did I have to be pretty to be dark skinned?
I'd like to roll over to Elian. So Elian, of all the things she does, as her being a transformation coach, executive coach, she's also a trauma-informed care coach. I need to learn to say it right. And so Elian, what would you like to say just about this whole thought? Because I think it really affects everyone in different ways, probably, but it really affects all of us. So will you kind of wrap us up here?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And Terry, everything so true. It is with trauma-informed work, or with trauma work in general, and what I do with people is that it ain't true till we believe it. It ain't. It is just how many times people can say you're beautiful, or you're a direct family. When you grow up, your friends around you, don't be nonsense. Everything will be okay. It's kind of like almost diminishing your feelings because now we think you're gorgeous, or we think you're cute, or fabulous, whatnot. But it doesn't resonate with us inside until we give that value and that perspective of being your true self to ourselves. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of insight, inner, just work and learning and growing. And I think everybody has a time for that. So if we don't do that when we are necessarily 25, because we don't have that frame of reference, we do that while we are constantly being triggered. And triggers are coming back in all forms. Right? It doesn't have to do anything with, it can just be somebody that says, wow, that color yellow is really weird on you. And with you, everything comes back, right? Everything will come back. While it was not meant to be a past triggering remark. So everything can come back in so many different ways to us that we just have to do the inside work of love and care and self-care and time with self and some deep digging to figure it out. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Sarah, you're muted, my dear.
That is so true, what you said about the colors, because I remember growing up, I love colors. I just love color. I always loved colors, and I was told I shouldn't wear yellow, I shouldn't wear red, I shouldn't wear bright colors because of my complexion. And now that's all I wear. Like you
Yeah.
saw the picture, because that's who I am, but I was withholding that because of what other people thought about it, And so you just got to be authentic and be true to who you are.
Yes.
That's it. Just be true to who you are.
Yeah.
So there's so much more we could say about this, but we're here for networking, but we didn't want this opportunity to go by without beginning to have this discussion. And so we want to invite you to join us. We're going to continue the conversation in an upcoming episode on the Let's Talk BRI podcast. And so we will put out when that podcast is released so you all can listen in. So thank you, Teri. Thank you, Elian.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
Thank